Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what in my opinion is the 3 levels of data analysis. The first level in my mind is reporting on data that's necessary and or required by the business. The chart behind me is a very good example of that. It's just revenue by day, revenue aggregated to the day. Again, this is required by every business and it is a kind of basic necessity. This chart behind me represents the second level of data analysis, which is something required, like revenue by day, but then spiced up with something new, which is a trend line of new spenders per day to the business. This is pretty cool. And then the final level of data analysis is analysis that goes from required to interesting to thought-provoking. And everyone wants to get to this level, right? Because once your data and its analysis becomes thought-provoking, many more people seek out your work, seek out your thoughts, want to strategize with you, want to collaborate and ideate with you. So this is where we want to be. As you can see, we got to this level by aggregating revenue by day, by adding a count of new spenders by day, and then adding a third and most interesting kind of trend line, which is a count of reactivated spenders, or a count of customers whose last purchase date was 30 or more days ago, meaning they decided to purchase again for some reason, even though they've been dormant or have been non-spending for 30 or more days. So today in MySQL, I'm going to show you how to build this third chart so that you can up your data analysis skills and start bringing a lot more curiosity and interest to your work. Here we are in MySQL. So here's a revenue table we're going to be working with today. It's just a table of revenue transactions. Let's add the column names. And funny enough, going from basic data analysis to thought-provoking data analysis doesn't take that much work. It just takes a little bit of additional planning. So what we're trying to do is how do we get new spenders and reactivated spenders? We can do it with just one piece of logic. If you look at this first row, it's a purchase that occurred June 27, 2024. What we need to figure out is for this same customer ID, did they purchase any time prior to this date? And if so, was that date greater than or equal to 30 days from 6/27? Now, if they haven't purchased at all prior to this date, we know they're a new spender. If their last purchase date historically was 30 or more days from 6/27/2024, we know they are a reactivated spender. And the way we're going to get this data is by searching the same table. So doing a join back to the same table or doing a self join. I will show you how to do that now. Now we want to join on customer ID, right? Now here is the logic we were talking about, right? So we have 6/27/2024. For this very same customer ID, right, which we're taking care of here on the customer ID equals customer ID join, we need to find dates prior to 6/27, and we need to find the most recent historical date. Hence why we're going to use the max aggregate function. So this field is going to help us build our groups. If it is null, we know they are a new spender. If this date historically is 30 or more days from 6/27 in this example, we know they are a reactivated spender. Let's run this to make sure this works. It does, great. We see our new column there on the right called last purchase date. Now, all we need to do is add 2 case statements and aggregate, and we're done. To fulfill the requirements of the first chart, we want to aggregate revenue by day. Now, we're going to create the column that's going to aggregate our new spenders. It's going to be a case statement. So if a purchaser has never purchased historically, meaning last purchase date is null, then we are going to call them a new spender. We just copied that just to make things easier and to make just a few changes for our second group. Okay, let me explain this last group. This is a key logic in it, right? So if the difference in days between the purchase date and the historical date is greater than or equal to 30 days, then count that customer as a reactivated spender. And we're done, at least with the query. And here's our query result with everything we wanted. So let's move this over to Excel. So let's build that third chart, but with just the month of August 2024. So go to change chart type, and what you want to do is you want to go to combo, right? Because we're going to have revenue as a histogram or a clustered column, and then we're going to have our two groups, new spenders, reactivated spenders, on a secondary axis. There we go. So we have revenue here on the left-hand side, and then we have our count of new spenders or reactivated spenders on the right-hand side. And this kind of marks our completion of taking what was once a really basic revenue by day chart and turning it into something a lot more interesting. And it's one of many examples where you can just take a basic metric like revenue or daily active users or customers and spend a little more time to spice it up. And after doing that, you're just going to get a lot more interest on all of your work. I hope this was helpful. Continue to like and subscribe.